Garen, just a final word from you, talking about this exodus of players. I mean, it has been in the headlines this week. There are quite a few. There seem to be quite a, and as there usually is at the end of a Super Rugby season, particularly in a World Cup year, an exodus of players. Transfers between franchises, guys going abroad. Then also, I mean, speaking of the Bulls, what's happening with the setup there? Is Franz Liedeke going? I saw something about him being promoted.
Yeah.
John Mitchell turning down Stormer's jobs. A lot of movement sort of in the sort of administration side of things.
A little bit of the silly season, the off season happens a lot in football. We're used to it there, but it seems more and more the case in rugby. Obviously, a lot of players have been lured by the euro, the pound, the yen, off to Japan. Coaches this season, Alice Coetzee off to Japan, Naka Drotsky stepping down with 2 matches to go at the Cheetahs, Franz Liedeke, who is the longest coaching Super Rugby coach in history, talk about either being fired or promoted. I mean, imagine that. So, if he does go, I wouldn't be surprised. He's been around for a long time. He's obviously won a couple of Super Rugby titles with the Bulls. But, they've sort of gone backwards in the last couple of years. But he could be promoted, ironically, to the director of rugby position, which Heineke Meyer held before he was named Springbok coach. So if he does get promoted and they fill that position, then they're obviously going to be looking for a new coach. Pressure on Gary Gold down at the Sharks, his first season. John Smith in his first season as CEO hasn't really worked there. They had Jake White, got rid of him after a year. Will Gary Gold stay on for another season? Obviously, we've got the whole Kings coming into the equation. They're also looking for a coach for next season. And then, the players, it's amazing. Every day, another player linked with a move. Jake White seems to be buying a ton of former Sharks players at Montpellier. That's apparently where Bismarck and Yanni are off to. Willem Albert's off to France as well. Let's talk about Pierre Spies going to Japan. As we mentioned, Willie Leroux going via Japan to Durban. So, thanks to SA Rugby's policy of picking overseas players to represent the Boks at Rugby World Cup, Rugby Championships, it seems there's nothing keeping them in the country, nothing keeping them loyal to their provinces. They can disappear and yet be called on. We're sort of relying on Free Dupree, who have not seen in action for almost like 9 months, as being this fantastic saviour at number 9, but we have no clue how well he's playing. Jacques Fries, talk about Andries Becker coming back. When you look at New Zealand and England, they're the only 2 countries that don't pick players that have chosen to go and play abroad. So, hats off to them. I'm sort of in that camp of belief that they reward loyalty, and if you do choose to go and earn more overseas, then fair enough to you. But we're going to reward the players that stay loyal to the local fans, that sort of thing. So. All change, never a dull moment in SA Rugby, but exciting time still.
Okay, thank you, Garen.
Thanks, Dick.